All right, back at it again with the Concord high efficiency furnace with the smart valve. And real quick here, what we're going to do is show you and mimic a bad igniter, but more importantly, how you can get your heat going if you don't have an igniter and you're kind of freaking out. This combustion chamber here, it's 4 screws, and every screw in a furnace is really quarter or 5/16. I wish I could hold this damn mic somewhere better, but I guess that'll work. You can pick these up at Home Depot, and the reason is because, this side, take these damn things out. One side's 5/16 and the other side's quarter. And pretty much every single screw, nut, or whatever is quarter or 5/16. So you should have one of these just laying around. That way you don't have to get a socket set out or anything silly. Okay, so what I did here was I mimicked just taking the igniter out. The igniter is 110 volts that is controlled by the smart valve. And in the last video, I showed you how we could, if the relay goes bad in here for the vent motor, how to add an outboard relay. So that's in part 2. But right now, we're going to take this off and get in this chamber because our igniter is bad. So what we're going to do is light it manually. What the hell did I do with the lighter? Oh boy, this is really poor performance, but okay, here it is. All right, so I guess, should I light it up in there for you? Yeah, I guess so. So up in there is the igniter, and this is a little furnace. It has 2 burners. It's one of the smallest ones they make. And if you see in there, one side to the right is the igniter, and the other side is the flame rod. And that just tells the board that, hey, we achieved ignition across all the burners or at the end burner. If you've got 4 or 5 burners in your system, they'll be way farther apart with a bunch more burners between them. But right now, we're just going to do manually lighting a furnace. So what I like to do is first, with this off, number 1, it's pulling air and gas away from you. So there's no reason to freak out or think that there's a problem. As long as the pressure switch makes, which it will or should, it's pulling gas and combustion and air and everything away from you. So you're never going to get like a flame rollout back in your face. Nothing's going to blow up. It's just all about timing. All right. So we want to listen to the clicks. Right from when we start up our furnace, with the thermostat up, it's going to immediately turn on the vent motor. About 18 seconds after that, you'll hear and feel, if you got your hand on it, the click for the igniter to glow. And in this case, we got a bad igniter, so it's not going to glow. Right at about 25 seconds, it opens up the gas valve for about 5 seconds. That's the 5 seconds you have to light everything up, or you'll have to try again because it's not going to sense a flame. It's going to play it safe, shut the gas down, and that's that. So I like to do a counting thing once and then try it with the lighter. It's hard for people who don't normally do this to get it, but you'll feel the gas valve open up. And so you just count. So let's try it. All right. Now, one disclaimer or whatever. If you have a Carrier product, Heil or I believe Payne, yeah, and some other brands, when you turn the power on and the thermostat's calling for heat, it's going to run the fan motor for 60 or 90 seconds first before it goes into the first heating cycle. So, all right, let's just count. Here we go. I know the thermostat's up, and let's see how long it takes for the gas valve. So we hear the first click. 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, There it is. 19, 20, 21, 2. There's the opening. Okay, maybe you get a little flashback, but your heat's on, right? Boy, this is so bad. It is pulling away. What happened there, I wasn't the quickest, and the gas kind of, shot back. It built up in the chamber a little bit. But she's running. But you can't see that right now because I don't have the damn camera on. Well, this will be a fucking hell of a video. But yeah, that's how you get your furnace running. I do the count thing like that, and don't let a little bit of flame rollback scare you. It's getting pulled away from you. That was just a little fluke. And oh my god. All right, let's do the next thing here. All right, I have to show you this again. When I first put power to this, you'll hear a click initially. That's just powering up the smart valve. And then about 17, 18 seconds, you'll hear another click. That would be 110 volts going to the igniter, but since we got a bad disconnected wire and it's not, we're mimicking a bad igniter, it's not going to light, of course, unless we do it manually. So, that being the case, God, I'm so bad at this. That being the case, again, it's a timing thing. You saw it flash on me before. So, it's going to happen to people. So I'm just going to leave it in there. Anyways, we're going to hear the click at about 17, 18 seconds. That would normally send the 110 volts to the igniter and it would start to glow. Right around 23, 24, 25 seconds, you'll hear and feel the gas valve open, and that's when you want to get the lighter in there right at about where the igniter is. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to step up so we can see it here. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, there's the first goal, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There's the opening. You know what? I'm going to recommend to avoid that. Get one of those lighters that's like a little torch at the end. This big lighter, air's pulling away really fast in there. It's hard to get it to light. So yeah, if you just go run out, spend $8 on one of those torch head lighters, it'll light up like almost instantly. So there you go. And now your furnace is running. Now it's only going to run one time. As long as the thermostat is up, it'll stay running. This thermostat can satisfy, this thing shuts down, you'll have to manually start it up again. So there. Hopefully that's a little more clear for everybody. And one more thing here. Once you do get it going, go ahead and put your cover back on. And, even just put a couple screws in if you plan on restarting it multiple times. When I've had people do this before, I just tell them overheat the house. You get it running once, turn it up to 80, 85, and then if it goes off at the thermostat by itself, the house will be really warm, and you can have longer times in between having to manually light it until you go get yourself an igniter. Hopefully that would be relatively quick. So yeah, just put the cover back on. The other thing is pressure switches. The pressure switch in here, sometimes it's not just from the vent motor having a problem, but the drain. And I find it especially true when it's a one-pipe system. This is a two-pipe system, which means it pulls the combustion air in from outside. Think about your furnace filter and how dirty it gets. When you only have a single pipe system where the exhaust is blowing outside, number one, all that air that it's using that you're paying to heat up is getting sucked out, used for combustion, and then blown outside. And then your house could be at a negative pressure where it's sucking in from every nook and cranny, combustion air. So, you know, you should really ask and demand to have the outside air pipe installed as well. Some contractors just love to put in one pipe only because it's less work. But through time, that dirt from inside gets into the combustion chamber, into the heat exchanger. A lot of that dirt then clogs up the trap, and then you start having pressure problems, pressure switch problems. You know, or the drain gets clogged for whatever reason. You'll have a pressure switch situation. Like 90% of the times, pressure switches aren't bad. It's something gets stuck in the port. Something could get a hose could crack, or the drain backs up, and then you're having people go out, and you got to make sure you get the same pressure switch. It says 0.70 there. You don't want to get a different size or anything. You got to match them up when you do get them. But then they'll get them, put them in, and the same damn thing is happening. So I've also seen people put a couple drops of oil into the ends here, turn it upright for like 60 seconds, then gently suck and blow on there so it exercises the diaphragm, and that'll bring back a worn pressure switch. Oh boy. Should we get into that 8-wire stuff? Oh, save that for another video. Okay, well, hopefully there's a lot of good information here. And like and subscribe. Please forgive me. I watched the video and then I'm like, yeah, I forgot to make this point. When I was talking about the two-pipe systems, and I'm going to talk about the pressure switch again, but if you just have the one-pipe system and the other one's cut off, they usually put an elbow up here or something and it's pulling in air. I've seen people like use the damn furnace as a shelf, and then they cover up that intake and it just shuts the system down. You don't want that to happen, but then just the other thing is years and years of dirt getting in through the system will fill up the trap with crap and cause pressure switch problems. But then it also will fill up the heat exchanger and clog it all up, and then the system's done. I mean, again, thinking about filters and just 3-4 months how dirty a filter is. Imagine years and years this being cut off, this isn't here, and you're just sucking in house air. And also, you're sucking in cold air from everywhere else in the house. The house goes into a negative pressure, and then every nook and cranny, every time a door opens, you're just pulling in cold air that you have to pay to reheat. The second pipe is really, really important for longevity of the furnace, so it doesn't get clogged up with dirt and crap like in a filter does, but over 10, 20 years. But also, again, so it uses outside air for combustion and not the air in your house that you're paying to have heated. Then with the pressure switch, when I mentioned about oiling them, you take these off, take this out, turn it upright so just the ports are there, and then put a couple drops of oil in there, sitting upright so the oil can slowly go down in. And I use like a 3-in-1 light oil, like a sewing machine oil, something like that. You don't want to use like thick motor oil or something. And again, then you take your lips, you put it on the pipe, and just give it a gentle suck, and you don't have to blow, but and you'll hear the thing, you know, exercise, click, 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 click. You don't want to suck on it hard or anything, not even as hard as you suck on a straw, you know, sucking down a pop at McDonald's or something. Just very gently you want to be when you exercise that. Put the hoses back on and give it a try. It might revive your bad pressure switch. Anything else? Oh, yeah. One other thing. If you have a heating only system like this, in the summer months, shut the damn thing off. This heartbeat is happening right through the hot summer months. You're not using the furnace, you know, of course, if you don't have air conditioning. So why have it energized? You know, basically, if I were to take this apart and see the little circuit board in there, or any circuit board that's energized, and we shot it with a camera that was infrared, it's glowing. It's slowly toasting and dying over time. I mean, look at that. You can see right there. See how they're warmed up, the resistors and the other components there? That's from, I mean, you could really gain some time out of the life of a furnace just by shutting it off during the summer months. And what I mean by that, not at the thermostat, at the power switch. All right, hopefully that's a little more clear. Like and subscribe. All right, I had one more thing I had to say, so I thought I'd just throw it in the video, and it's in regard to the drain and the trap. This trap right here, And again, in a one pipe system, pulling all the dirt in and whatnot, a lot of times this will fill up in there, and that's a trap on this system. Sometimes traps will be like rectangular and long with the pipes and the drain coming off the side, but what'll happen is it'll be like 3/4 clogged, and what you get is a situation where the furnace backs up. You think the pressure switch is bad. You go order a new one, or you wait for a few hours or overnight and try the furnace again, and magically it turns on. And it might run for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, and then it makes enough water to fill up and cause a pressure switch situation again. And those kind of repairs will drive a person crazy. A partially blocked drain that drains out over time, like an overnight or something, or worse, somebody diagnoses that they do have a pressure switch issue. They order one, it gets there, they put it in, and it works for a while, and they're happy, and then the drain clogs up or fully backs up again. The pressure switch starts blinking, the 2 or 3 code, and you want to kill yourself. So when that kind of stuff happens like that, and you're getting intermittent problems with the pressure switch issues or codes on the smart valve, you would want to look at your drain and clear it all out. A lot of people don't think about, they just think a drain is open or closed. And sometimes they could be 90% blocked and give you issues like that, because it takes a few minutes for the furnace to actually condense and make water. So there's like a lead lag there that happens. All right, I just had to throw that in there. Give me my damn microphone back.